thought that they had a chance to beat JDG.
And it came true, and now they made it all the way to the finals. What we know from Suning is that they are scrim gods, right? Much like DAMWON actually in the beginning of their record, let's say 2 years ago. We already heard that they were scrimming and beating everyone, but it wasn't coming to fruition consistently in the LPL. But when did you start seeing signs of the ceiling that could be for Suning when you looked at the LPL this year, and particularly summer?
So it's pretty interesting because in LPL, we describe Suning as the experimental second album from your favorite band. They're pulling in all these weird genres. It's really cool, but mixing it together is quite hard. You look at Suning, duelist top laner, team fight AD carry, a jungler that's much more farm-centric, but a support that wants to be aggressive and make plays. So they had all these great individual elements, and we saw a lot of highs, especially in summer, like you mentioned. Bin was the third highest solo kills coming out from the LPL regular season. So I think summer was really the time that we saw a lot of these individuals develop. And the question was, can they bring the lack of experience and really translate that to a good performance at Worlds?
And the answer was a resounding yes. And every single member of that team stepped up at this World Championship. But who would you say has been your standout performer for Suning so far this Worlds?
I think this one has to be a combination of Bin plus SOFM. I think both of them are playing much better than we've seen at any point all year long, which again, this is at Worlds. This is the highest stakes there is. Absolutely blows my mind. What we saw Bin do 369 was absolutely amazing. And SOFM has really stepped up to take on a carry role. And I feel like even his team fighting has been way better than what we've seen all year long, especially with that beautiful Jarvan ultimate that you guys showed earlier in the show.
Exactly. A lot of standout performers, but this is the day that matters most. Give me your prediction.
So I got to preface, right? DAMWON is the clear favorite, but I'm coming on as the resident LPL connoisseur, so I need to go with Suning. I definitely think there's ways Suning can win. I'd love to see some early aggression on top side, see SOFM bring some early ganks, force Canyon onto the map, and that is how our Lion lads will take it.
I love it. No one's going to blame you for believing in the team of the LPL that you're a fan of course. Thank you so much, Lyric. We'll talk to you hopefully a bit later as well for some analysis. Enjoy the series. And now both of these teams are in the final for the very first time, and they have arrived at the Pudong Stadium in Shanghai, the last stop on their world's journey. Just to set the stage before we get into the nitty-gritty, DAMWON have shown domination from the start, and Suning has shown a lot of close fights to get here.
I think at the same time, though, looking, it's such a tough thing to judge because Suning beat tournament favorite. They beat G2, previous world finalist, MSI winner, and then they went on to beat JDG, top esports. That those fights are bloody, it's understandable, but at the same time, I have to agree that DAMWON have shown so much class that it's hard to take anything away from them.
Yeah, it's the idea that they look like the complete package, that they can do anything, that they can play their style, they can play your style, they can carry from any position, they can pick when and how they're going to beat you. But on the other side, Suning do something that's so unique, and they do it the best, and that's why they're here in the final. So if Suning get to play their game, I have no doubt that they could beat DAMWON. But the issue is that DAMWON plays everyone's game, and if you're not on perfect form on the day, DAMWON just slaps you down.
Yeah, exactly. It's also kind of mirrored in every game we've seen of DAMWON. They change their play style depending on who they are playing and then beat you with it. For Suning, we've seen a lot of comfort. Getting those comfort picks, getting the way you like to play with SOFM, shining, make wins happen.
I think just looking at Suning is just all about how the individuals perform. We saw Jax picks where, honestly, they didn't make a lot of sense to me. Picking Jackson to Ornn is something that is very tough. Picking Jackson to Renekton is something that also is quite tough. But if you play at the level of a Jax 1 pick that has played Jax his whole life, then you deliver. And it's just crazy to me because Bin managed to do that against players like 369 and, of course, Zoom. And then you have, the idea of Suning as a whole is just great individual play that is finally landing together now.
Suning move the chains or kind of accelerate the game a lot off of the back of skirmishes or team fights. Yes, SOFM is a great farming and passing jungler. He can create his own leads there. But often the breaking point for games for Suning, like LPL fashion, does revolve around fights. And that's why the comfort is so important. They're the 51% players. They know that in a what looks to everyone else is almost a losing situation or a 50-50, Suning like, flip it every time. I can outfight this guy. I can outplay this guy. And that's why the comfort's important. And what's cool then, and the importance of the context of 10 years of League of Legends, is that these are the LPL representatives, and they're playing their style their way. This was Invictus Gaming that played the Trident style. This was FPX who played the tanks mid. This was RNG who played Raise the Puppy. Each LPL team has always over-specialized, over-indexed into a specific way that they like to play, and they don't change that for anyone. And I think Suning are just the next evolution of that.
That they are. We'll see what they do today. They had some small adaptations, as in spending more time top lane, specifically for top esports, saving that counter pick as well. Do you think that is the key here for their play style and their draft, saving that counter pick for the top lane?
I think, yeah, I would be inclined to move in that direction. If there's a Suning victory today, I think it's off of a hand of some great, crazy Jax performance. Just been playing these champions that love to be in these split push situations, these isolated 1v1 situations. We've seen him 1v2, we've seen him 1v3, we've seen